fellow crocheters, this is here from theworkingyard.com. Today I'll be showing you how to do the wavy infinity scarf. For the written pattern, head over to my website. I'll put a link in the description below. This scarf is being made for a child, but it can easily be adapted for an adult by crocheting more rows. We'll be using the wavy shell stitch, which will make the variegated yarn that we'll be using just pop because the colors just change on its own. But as you can see, it just seems like I changed the yarn at the end of each block, almost. The finished scarf, it measures approximately 7 inches wide and 30 inches in length once it's seamed. The length is 60 inches when it's not seamed, since we're working it back and forth and not in the round. We'll seam the ends together.
For this project, you'll need a 5mm H hook, a darning needle, scissors, a tape measure, and if you like to keep track of which rows you're on, you can either use a row counter or stitch markers. You also need your yarn. I'll be using the Karen Cake in the Bumblebee colorway. I'll be using one Karen Cake. If you like, you can use another yarn. Just make sure it recommends using an H hook. Karen Cakes also comes in a variety of colorways. To make this scarf for an adult, you'll need 2 Karen Cakes. To start off, we'll make a slip knot and chain 29 stitches. To make the scarf narrower or wider, the wavy shell stitch is a multiple of 14 stitches plus 1 stitch. So I'll chain 28 stitches and then I'll add another stitch. So to make a slip knot, the way I do it, I take my 2 fingers, wrap the yarn around once and then twice. Take my hook under the first, over the second to hook that yarn to go under that first. Pull through. Tighten the knot. There you go. You want to have at least 6 to 8 inches in your tail so that way you can weave in at the end. So to make a slip knot, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the loop, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the loop, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the loop. So there goes your chains, and I have 1, 2, 3 so far. So I'll keep going until 28. There you go. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So I'll add my plus 1 stitch, and there goes the foundation chain. So you're going to add 2 chains for as the turning chain, and that will count as the part of the double crochet. So we're going to skip those 2 stitches, those 2 chains, and into the 3rd chain from the hook. This loop that's already on the hook does not count. We're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, skip those 2, wrap the yarn around once, insert the hook into the chain, wrap the yarn around once, pull through, 3 loops, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the first 2 loops, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the second 2 loops. So there goes your double crochet. Once again, wrap the yarn around once, insert the hook into the same chain, wrap the yarn around once, pull through, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the first 2 loops, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the second 2 loops. Wrap the yarn around once, insert the hook into the same chain, wrap the yarn around once and pull through, wrap the yarn around once, pull through the first 2 loops, wrap the yarn around once and pull through the last 2 loops. And then now we're going to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, into the next chain. We're going to do a single crochet. So insert the hook, wrap the yarn around once and pull through, wrap the yarn around once and pull through those 2 loops. And there goes your single crochet. So in the next 6 stitches, you're going to do a single crochet. So insert the hook, wrap the yarn around once, pull through, wrap the yarn around once and pull through those 2 loops. There goes my first, second single crochet, next chain, third single crochet, next chain, 4, 5, 6. You can always double check. That was already the first one that I did, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are going to skip. We're going to skip the next 3 chains. 1, 2, 3 to the next chain. After that, we're going to do 7 double crochets into that chain. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, all in the same chain. 5, 6, 7. So make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we are going to make sure you're not twisting your foundation chain. Skip the next 3 chains. So 1, 2, 3. And the chain after that, we're going to do a single crochet. I'm going to do a single crochet into the next, in each of the next 6 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'm going to skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, into that last chain in your foundation chain. You're going to work 4 double crochets, all in the same chain. So 1, 2, 3, last one, 4. And that is the first row. So now we're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 1, I'm going to do a single crochet into that first stitch. So you want to insert the hook where it catches those two loops that makes the V stitch, that makes the V shaped above the previous stitch. So you want to make sure you get that. So that way it's on top of the stitch from below. Do a single crochet. And now we're going to do a single crochet in each of these stitches across. Once again, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. Next chain, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through those two loops. Keep going until you reach the last stitch and do that that single crochet. About halfway there. Just keep going across over the hills of those multiple double crochets. Almost at the end. Oopsie, wrong stitch. Here is that first double crochet that I did, so that's the last stitch. And now that turning chain that previously counted. Okay, to do a single crochet. So there goes those two loops right there. I'm going to do a single crochet, and that is the end of round 2. Row 3, we're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 1. We're going to do a single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that last single crochet that you did on top of the turning chain, that was the first stitch, and then just go across. So now we have 4 single crochets. We're going to skip the next 3, 1, 2, 3, to the next stitch. We're going to do 7 double crochets. So there goes 1, do that. Make sure you're not splitting the yarn as I just did right there. Into the same hook. That's 2. That's 3, all in the same stitch. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'll just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. And then we're going to skip the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. And the next stitch after that, we're going to do a single crochet. We're going to do a single crochet in the next in each of the next 6 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we want to keep repeating this part. The skip 3 stitches, 7 double crochets in the next 7 stitches until we have 11. So because this looks rather short, I'm just going to make sure that how many stitches I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I have the last 11 stitches. So what I'm going to do is skip 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do 7 double crochets into the next stitch. So 1, all into that same stitch, 2, 3, I was wrong, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to do a single crochet in each of the 4 stitches. 2, 3. I'm going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to do a single crochet into that next stitch. There you go. Almost forgot to skip the 3. And then a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. And we're going to skip doing anything to that turning chain. And there goes row 3. We're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 1. Row 4 is similar to row 2. It's all the way until the very end where it changes. So we're going to, into that first stitch, a single crochet, and then we're going to do a single crochet all the way to the end in 1 single crochet in each stitch. So do a single crochet across this row, up and down the hills, these double crochet clusters that it makes. About halfway there. So as we get to the end, now here is where row 2 and row 4 differ. In row 2, you did a single crochet on top of the turning chain, but in row 4 we are going to skip that turning chain. So here's my last stitch, single crochet on top of that, and that is the end of row 4. Start row 5. We are going to chain our work. And we're going to chain 3, which will count as a double crochet. I'm going to do, in that first stitch, I'm going to do 3 double crochets, all in that first stitch. But that was not a double crochet. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to skip the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do in the next stitch after that a single crochet, and then in each of the next 6 stitches we're going to do a single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to skip 3 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, and in the next stitch after that we're going to do 7 double crochets, all in that stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you may have to manipulate the yarn a bit so you can see where the next stitch is, because we're going to skip those next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch after that, and then in each of the 6 stitches, the next 6 stitches, we're going to do a single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to skip the next 3 stitches. There's only 4 left. 1, 2, 3. Into that last stitch, we are going to do 4 double crochets, all in that same stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we are once again going to skip doing anything to the turning chain. So that is the wavy shell stitch. So to continue to make the scarf, just repeat rows 2 through 5 over and over again until you reach double the desired length of your scarf, since we'll be folding it in half and then sewing the ends together. If you need to review any of the rows again, just rewind the video as many times as you need, and we'll meet back up again once we're done with the scarf.
Okay, so I have a few more stitches left. Let me just put the yarn back on the hook. As you can see, I used the locking stitch marker just to keep track of where it was row 5, because I would put it down and pick it back up later on. So this way it helped me remember where I was when I left off. So all I have left is the 4 double crochets to do in the last stitch from before. So that's 2, 3, and 4. So you can just fasten off, because this is all I have left of the yarn. So I made good use of all that yarn in the carrot cakes, but you can use this long tail to weave in, well, to seam both ends, but I like to start fresh, so I'm gonna snip off 6 to 8 inches, about here, so that way I can weave this end. I already did the other end. So to fasten off, you just yarn over and pull through that loop and tighten. So I want to get my darning needle. I'm going to weave in this end within the same color, so that way it just blends in nicely and no one's the wiser. Okay. I like to go left and then right. There. You want to make sure that it's securely weaved in, so that way as you wash it over and over again, the ends, the yarn doesn't become unraveled. It's going to work my way back. And there you go. So snip off that end, and let me take this off. So here you have a perfectly beautiful scarf, and see, the colors just changed almost seamlessly, of like if it was done in blocks. But we're going to meet up the end. Make sure that you don't twist it so it can become like a circle. fold it in half, have the two ends meet up. It's not perfectly straight, but that's okay. With the whip stitch, which is what we're going to use, just fold that and make it more manageable. It just makes it easier if it was straight, but it's all right. We can still see our stitches. So we're going to thread our yarn on our darning needle. Have a nice tail. Good. So with the whip stitch, you want to meet up your stitches end to end. See how here's the first two stitches in one end. You want to meet up on the other end with the first two stitches, and then just thread your yarn good amount so that way you have until the end. Then you're going to back to the first end and meet up the next two stitches, and then go back to the first end to meet up the next two stitches from the first end to the second end. Just put that right there. And then just keep going across till you get till the end. And with the whip stitch, it's almost becomes like an invisible seam. So there's like, it doesn't add bulk to the ends when they meet up. So it's almost as if you worked in the round. Last one. Okay. So what I like to do to fasten off, I go back through the last one, and then with this loop, before it closes, I'll thread the darning needle and pull through so it creates a knot, and then I'll do the same thing over again. Just to secure that fasten off, and then I'll do a 6 to 8 inch tail. That's the side from one end to the other. So I just have these two ends to weave in, but let's say I did. So we're gonna turn our work inside out. You see how it's almost seamless, and that bunching up is because of the 7 double crochet cluster, but there you go. And that is the Wavy Infinity Scarf. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If so, please give it a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, click on the subscribe button below to be kept updated on all the latest videos from the Working Yarn. Wherever you are in the world, happy crocheting! Bye!